So today we're working on the KLE. I've got a brand new radiator guard going on, and I've got a brand new set of soft luggage that are rackless that we're gonna put on this bike. I had to do a little bit of rearranging in the garage. It's freezing rain outside right now, so KLE is on the trailer. Got the other bikes here parked in the corner. Had to get the Tesla here in the garage as well. All right, so this is a rackless luggage setup. We're not even gonna need a rear rack. I've done a little test fit, and I think this thing's gonna work awesome. Quick look at this rackless set of luggage that's gonna go on the KLE. This is a set of Westwind Moto Enduro 40s. Really cool setup. We're gonna get this on the bike, no racks needed, and if I do it correctly, I think we can get away with no rear rack as well. So once I get this fitted on the bike, we'll load it full of camping gear and pretend I'm traveling for a few days just to get an idea of how much that can hold and what it looks like on the bike. So let's get started. All right, we're gonna get these in place. I'm gonna take this top bag off for now so we get a better look. All right, so this is your Ranger Wild setup. You got this base plate. Each side piece here goes into one of these buckles here. I've got it in the middle. I think that's gonna fit well with the size of this bike. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do since I don't have a rear rack and I don't wanna drill into my fender, but I do have this ugly tailpiece here. So I'm gonna basically tuck this in right in the crease of that tailpiece. It's gonna come up and into my center loop here. Give that a little tighten, not too much yet. And do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna take out most of the slack here on the side and tuck it underneath here in the crease, wrap it around, and center loop of the center bag. Okay, so that's in there. I'm gonna give it a good shove towards the front. After the front is all cinched down, we'll come back and we'll tighten these down again. And I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. Let me show you the front. All right, moving around to the side of the bike, you have this one main strap here. So we're gonna actually loop that through the foot peg. And then there's a loop right here that's going to hook to. You want to face this down just to avoid it from coming off when you're riding. So let's get some of the slag out here. That snags into there. This will get tightened out here. And I'm gonna go do the other side and then we'll tighten up the rear. All right, so the front of these two side holsters are strapped to the rear foot pegs. And if I give this a tug, this ain't going anywhere. This ain't moving at all. So now we've got these two rears that we've already done. I'm gonna give those a nice little snug here on both sides. All right, those are real snug. And this is not moving forward or back. I'm giving this a tug. Give it a tug back. It's not moving. Roll up our excess here. All right, so with the kit, we've got two 20-liter dry packs. You got a right and a left. Nice bright material inside. Waterproof. And just got clothes stuffed in them for now. And we're gonna stuff these into these side holsters. Now with this style luggage, it actually works better if you can to pack it when it's already in these side holsters. That works well with my Moscow Moto kit. Now the bottom of each of these has this little loop. There is a little hole in the front and you can grab that loop and pull it through to get it all the way in the front here. Then we're gonna close this up like this. Buckle it to one top buckle here, the bottom buckle here, Pull those tight. You can go over the top with this guy. Again, most of these have these nice strap keepers. Probably get that even tighter, but for now, we'll leave that there. Now you do have these straps on the side here. So we're gonna give these a little tug on the side. Got this loop here that we're gonna try to feed in to that hole at the bottom. And we'll pull her in, there we go. Give it a good roll shut. Now these can be filled quite a bit more than what I have now. All right, now I've got another top bag here. It's an RWD30. And I think you could put this either way. You can have the opening facing the rear or towards the rider. The videos from Westwind Moto shows it facing the rider. I don't think it matters, but there are two main straps that go through the top here, that go across, and they have these little hooks, like all of the other connections here. All right, here we go. We've got the Westwind Moto Enduro 40s installed on the KLE, and I have no rear rack, did not drill into the fender, and this thing is rock solid. We have a strap up on each side here for the rear foot peg, and like I'm moving the whole bike. This thing is not going anywhere. Got a nice top bag coming around the back side here. We did route some of these mounting straps kind of in the crease of this area here. So it's not gonna go anywhere. You don't need a rack. You don't need to drill into your fender. And look at, I'm giving this a pull, and you're not gonna get that to come off. It's a little movement there, but other than that, that's what we got. All right, so on the bench, we have this Kawasaki KLE radiator guard. So it's got a little bracketry here that we'll install. Now these are the Tusk D Flex Pro handguards I'll be putting on the bike. As you can see, much thicker material than what is on the bike. Let me show you quick. Now these will get you started, but that is some really thin aluminum. Now Tusk actually did send these out to me to try on the bike. However, I got the wrong brackets because the handlebars kind of taper out and get fatter in the middle here. So I do have a new set of brackets coming for these handguards, so that will be coming soon. And for tires, this is what we're gonna try. Now I'm a little weary because the stock is at 140/70, and what I got here is a 140/80. So it's actually gonna be a little bit taller in the rear. So I need to figure out how much of a difference that's gonna be. And man, if it raises it up enough, you know, I'd consider maybe throwing a little spacer in the top front forks and maybe even get another 1/2 inch out of this thing. I don't know. I'm just spitballing right now. So I'm not 100% sure if this is gonna be a success, but this is a Mitas Enduro Trail XT. Again, we got the 140/80/17, so a little bit taller than that rear wheel. For the front, we got a Motoz Tractionator Dual Venture. So that should be fun. Just to give you a comparison, this is a Mitas Enduro XT Trail Plus. and this was on the front of my KTM. Actually got a new one going on for this season. So yeah, we got a trip to Cycle Gear to swap out a bunch of tires here real quick. But I hope this is going to be a good setup. I think this will be perfect for that Arkansas BDR. I just hope this doesn't raise the rear too much and throw everything off. If you guys know anything about spacers in front forks, let me know in the comments if that's something I should look into. It'd be small. Yeah, it's gonna be a hair taller. All right, so I'm gonna remove the windshield so I can get better access to my GPS bar. With the windscreen off, you have a better idea of how to actually raise the windscreen. You got these two bolts here, same two on the other side. You can go up a spot or two more spots higher. And we'll go second one from the top. See where that takes us. I've got the Amazon bracket installed here. Those do protrude, but there's some spacers, I guess, to get around that. Spacer. Screw, just get it started. All right, nice and snug. This wire we will tuck in and wire into somewhere. Haven't figured that out yet. All right, well that's what it looks like for the moment. Now I need to figure out where to wire it in. But that's your Garmin XT2, and it's basically a quick release. And this powers it. So love that setup, and you can move this from bike to bike. I have the same setup on the KTM 790 Adventure, so if I were to swap bikes, I can just grab this and go put it on the other bike, and I'm ready to go. All right, so we've got this top side panel removed, and I was able to wire in this single wire here that powers the Garmin through this little fairing hole here, and it comes out under here, and then I've got it zip tied. There's a little support rail along this edge here, and then along down the frame is zip tied into here. So it's going to be nice and hidden. You won't see it anywhere except a little bit right here, which I'll zip tie up, and then the windscreen will be on. We've got the Garmin installed. I think it's about centered down there, but we have the mount on the bar. Got it wired through the front, comes along inside the panel, along this frame rail. Got it zip tied here, and I did a test to see if this would be enough power. This is basically the light for the license plate. This little guy here. I'm still trying to find accessory power, so it appears that that's gonna work. Sweet. Yeah, you'd think it'd be an easy solution to have one knob and a slide. Again, a lot of corners cut on this bike. I'm seeing a lot of corners that were cut on this bike. All right, nice and snug. And let's get that windscreen back on. Windscreen in the tallest position with the Garmin XT2 mounted behind it. Now we got that Garmin XT2 installed. This was an Amazon bracket here. And then we did the Garmin power kit, and I snaked the wires back behind the plastic and along the frame here, and we tapped in to basically the running light in the back. So hopefully that'll work for the long term. Fully adjustable mirrors. You can tuck them in if needed, take them off really easily. So these are a nice little touch. All right, pretty happy with how the KLE is getting dialed in, and really hoping for better weather here real soon. We're gonna do some shakedown runs of the bags, the bike, moto camping setup, all of that real soon. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, consider doing that right now. Hit the like button, and yeah, come back for the next one. Appreciate you coming by. We'll catch you on the next one.